Hello, and welcome to the chat. We are ready to air our second episode of the chat. Today we will be chatting with Brother Keith. Brother Keith has been with us for about 2 years. I've been knowing Brother Keith since 2016. Then I realized today Brother Keith did not come to the church until 2018, and after a conversation that we had, he was finally invited to church. So Brother Keith, if you want to tell a little bit about our church interaction or
how it come to pass.
How it came to pass,
Yeah.
Finally.
Well, yeah, and through conversations, being around you a little bit, and then I found out that your husband was a pastor. Then I said, oh yeah, we've been looking for a church home, and we are looking for more of a community-like church, a small church, because we're from Arkansas originally, and we're coming from Colorado. But we're all about being close to a family, and I think I let you know at that time that you hadn't actually invited us to your church, and we had visited a few or looked at a few around the area, but it was kind of amazing for you to have a pastor as a husband, and we hadn't been invited, and so we finally made it to this church, and we've been here since, and really happy with that decision.
And thank God that you did not hold that against me. I'm feeling like, woo. But him and his lovely wife, Sister Sheila, did come. And I remember when he said, I heard you, when I was like totally shocked the way you said it to me. And I appreciate the boldness and saying, hey, I know your husband's a pastor, but you hadn't invited me to church. So I'm growing, I'm still growing. But that was in 2018. So now they are here. They are very faithful members to the church. Brother Keith and Sister Sheila heads our culinary ministry. Yesterday we did the grocery giveaway. Brother Keith was in charge of that, and just a really good leader. And we thank God for your leadership that you have brought to our church, and your lovely wife, Bonus, that you have brought with you. And so we're just going to chat. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and just have a little chat with you. First one, what are you most grateful for?
So I can name a whole lot of things I'm grateful for, but I always want to go first to, I really want to say two things. One, my wife, who I met back in Arkansas 23 years ago. She actually worked in a grocery store with me at part-time as a clerk, and that's where that started. And a few years later, we were in Colorado and married, and 23 years later, we are still there.
Wow.
And that's been amazing. And she's seen me on both sides, because she's seen me in this retail environment for her entire time she's really known me.
Right.
And so how much I worked, and how much I'm at a store, how much I deal with people, and questions all the time of, you gotta go again, you gotta go again. But she understands that, because she's been with me that whole time. And then the other thing is my grandmother, who has been the rock of our family for a long time, and we are actually celebrating her 100th birthday on July 4th.
God.
And so we're excited about that, and I always look at that because we always talk about longevity. And she had 9 children, and we only lost one of our uncles last year out of the 9, and he was 77 years old. So we are grateful, and that's why I say thinking about being grateful for things is we've had that rock in our family for a long time. And we have actually 6 generations of people on our family now. So yeah, with our grandmother. So I am grateful for longevity and her being a religious lady, a Christian her whole life, and instilled that in us the whole time. So.
And it shows. That's amazing. 6 generations.
Yes.
Celebrating 100 years. That is truly amazing. And interesting that you and your wife met on your job.
Yes.
2020, we probably got trouble. All right. Next question. What life lesson did you learn the hard way?
And as I've said, I've been in retail. I started in the South. And we all know, working in the South, that I spent a lot of time into training and developing people to see them pass me on or to get promoted outside of me when I've done all the work. But what I've learned over the years is I have to put that aside, and I have to do my job and work hard. So my life lesson is to trust in the system, or trust in the Lord that I'm going to get what I deserve at the right time.
Yeah.
So some of these things have really, it took me leaving Arkansas to get on the path of showing my true abilities, to then put some trust in some other people saying, we got you.
Yeah.
We know what you're doing, and to get me to where I am today. And so I trust in the Lord and his faith through hard times, and through to get me what I've deserved at the right time. Because it seems like it's all fallen in place at the right times in life.
That's good. At the right time. That's good. What are you sure of in your life?
I'm sure that the Lord is on my side.
Oh, God.
Because, when I think about that is, I've been through some things, and we talked a little bit yesterday, and a lot of people didn't know or don't know, I grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
I grew up driving tractors and doing all this, and one guy that I knew, I was walking the rice fields with him. He was an older gentleman, and this was I'm still in high school, and he said to me, he was 70-something years old at that time, he said to me, you get out of these rice fields, you go to college.
Wow.
Don't do this. I'm 70-something years old, and I have nothing to say that I've done in my life.
Wow.
And so with that, I'm sure that following what I want to do, even though people don't always agree, that I sometimes make decisions and say, this is going to be the best for me and our family,
Right.
whether it's moving or doing whatever. And so I make sure that's what I'm sure of in my life, that some of the decisions that I'm making are the right ones at the right time, even though everyone doesn't agree. Because we do have the ability to make decisions for ourselves. And now I've thrown it out there before, either you're going with me or you're not. and when you think about that, if you live in faith, that they will follow and trust in your decision. And so far, it's worked out, but we don't know what tomorrow brings. Because I read something this morning that said, that was a question that someone said, ask the Lord, why are you putting me through all these waves, all these hard waters? It said, because your enemies can't swim.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Your enemies can't swim.
Because your enemies can't swim. So I'm sure of my life, of some of those decisions, life decisions, because that's what they are. Yeah. And if you pick up from Arkansas and you move to Colorado, and then you pick up from Colorado and you move back to Tulsa, those are life decisions that I am uprooting my family to say, this is what's best for us. Yeah. And they have to have trust in me. So.
Wow, that's good. And you're right. A lot of things we don't know. I had gotten a truck in the U-Haul truck with you yesterday, and I'm always cautious of drivers. I'm cautious of his driving. And I said, can you drive this thing? And you said, I worked on the farm. I know how to drive a diesel. And I laughed. I was like, that's so country. But yeah, you're a very confident person. And like you say, decision making and the way you just handle things. And that's good to know, to be sure that you're making the right decision. That's good. I like that. Do you think crying is a sign of weakness or strength?
Hey, I can tell you in the past, as I grew up from a young man, because that's what you heard. If you cry as a man, you're weak. But I've learned in life that it's a strength.
Yes.
Because, and maybe as I'm really getting older, because so many different things touch my life, or people's emotions, or how people live, or what things people do touch me. So as I say, as I'm getting older, more things make you emotional, and I shed tears on certain things on TV shows, and it's kind of crazy,
Really?
but it is because it touches my heart. Yeah. And when you see, because I made a decision a long time ago that I'm going to be a person that tries to help people. And so when I see people that do not have that ability, or put in places where they don't have that support, it does bring tears to my eyes, and I feel like it's a strength. And I don't have a problem with that. My wife will look at me sometimes, we're in a movie, and she'll say, you shed a tear, doggone right, because it's just who I am. Yeah. And I've always been, I care for people, and to the fault sometimes. Because I can tell you, over my career, have I been in trouble at work for trying to help people. And they say, hey, you can't just do that. And I always say I've had one write-up in my company in my lifetime. It was because I helped someone. Wow. And other people felt like they wouldn't get the same support. And I say, I will give the same support to anyone who asks for it. Wow. But no, so yeah, it's a strength to me, absolutely. So if you guys see me shed a tear, just say, that's a strong man.
Strong man, you're right about it. All right, our last one. What motivates you to be your best?
People don't know this. There's a lot of things about me people
don't know.
I struggle with a couple things. One, and I'll tell you what motivates me is my stepfather raised me. He married my mom 3 months after I was born. Okay, my stepfather passed away 5 years ago now in June, but he was the hardest working man that I've known.
Wow.
He never treated, even though he wasn't my real father, he never showed the difference. And me and my older sister, just talking about the other day, is the fact that he raised us from day one like he was my father and no one else. Even though my real father's still alive, my real father lives in St. Louis. After my stepfather passed, he started trying to connect more. The reason why that came about is my real father was my stepfather's first cousin. And I know I'm airing some laundry, but it's a reality.
Okay.
And so my stepfather, we talk now on occasions, and my real father, we talk on occasions, but he stepped aside because my stepfather took the role on as my dad.
Wow.
Even though he would come visit, because they were cousins off and on, and I got brothers and sisters out there, but he respected his cousin enough to never just say, that's my son or anything like that. So that motivates me every day to see a man who stood up from day one and said, these are my children.
Wow.
So that's why I try to, and you see I'm getting emotional about it because I walked through life understanding that there was a man who did not have to do what he did. And it motivates me to be the right person in my life.
God bless you.
Okay.
Wow.
So.
I appreciate you sharing with us at the chat. That's what this is about. We just want open, candid conversation to help someone else along the way. So we thank you so much, Brother Keith, for sharing with us. We appreciate you. God bless you.
Thank you.